Hey there, it's Jessica from Be Well Coaching. Welcome to this week's episode of Tuesday's Tips, bite-sized pieces of information you can start to use right now to start to level up to a badass life. Today we're going to be talking about personal needs, personality needs, the 6 needs that we have and how to get them met and how to recognize if we're not getting them met or meeting them in unhealthy ways. Before we get started, I just wanted to say thank you everybody for sticking with me on my Tuesday tips and coming and watching my videos. I really love it if you would like and subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell button so you get notifications when we have new videos out. Tuesday Tips is going to continue, but I'm finding it really hard to fit all of the information I want to fit into the short time on Tuesday Tips. So I'm going to be creating a lot of longer videos, workshop type videos to really get even deeper into these topics and how you can start putting them to work in your own life. So these Tuesday Tips are just little bite-sized pieces, and we're going to start rolling out the giant feasts. So stay tuned and stay with us. But thanks for being here. So let's get into it. Our 6 personality needs. The 6 personality needs are certainty, uncertainty, significance, connection / love, growth, and contribution. So let's go through these. The need for certainty is talking about, it's kind of just what it says. Certainty as in assurance that you're going to be able to avoid pain and that you can successfully gain pleasure. And so this is just one of our human needs, right? We don't really think about it that deeply, but we have a need for certainty. And if our needs are not being met, it causes issues. The next is uncertainty. So this is the opposite. And some people think like, well, if we have a need for certainty, why would we have a need for uncertainty? Uncertainty in the terms of variety, right? So need for change, need for new stimuli, novelty in your life. You wouldn't watch the same exact TV show every single day for the rest of your life, right? You like to change it up and add new shows and things like that. That's that need for uncertainty. Next is the need for significance. Significance is needing to feel unique, important, special, needed. It's that feeling you get when you've accomplished something or you get recognition or people shout you out for supporting them. That feeling of significance is one of our needs. The next one is the need for love and connection. A strong feeling of closeness or unity with someone or something. We all know what love and connection is. It's usually one of the higher needs for a lot of people, one that they're constantly trying to get filled. It's a big one. The next one, growth, is the need for expansion. It's the need for compatibility and understanding. Basically, it's the need to learn new things and expand your mind and your spirit and things like that. And then finally, contribution. Also pretty much what it sounds like, is a sense of service and focus on helping and giving and supporting others. So we all have these 6 basic needs. Just how they present themselves for each person is different. So your number one need that you need met is going to be different than someone else's, and it's going to change from day to day. So there's going to be an overarching needs, for example. And now I want to tell you too that which needs are higher on your list of ones that you need met more consistently and more regularly are based on your childhood, how your needs were met in childhood. So if you had an unmet need in childhood, you're going to spend a lot of time in your adult life trying to get that need met and feeling like it's an unmet need constantly. So you're going to put a lot of focus there. It's going to be high on your list of hierarchy of which needs need to get met first. Okay. And the list, like I said, is going to change. So you might be in a season in your life where you are single, you've been single for a long time, you have a steady job and a house, you have fun with your friends, and you're learning and growing, all of those other needs are being met. But now your need for love and connection is starting to come towards the top of your list. And so you're trying to get that need met. You may be in a new relationship, and so your love and connection need is getting met frequently and in a great, healthy way. And so maybe you start to fulfill your need for uncertainty, where you and your partner go and explore new restaurants and explore new drinks and new places. So you see how your needs and what you need in a certain season in your life is going to change. So why is all this important? It's important because these are subconscious needs. These are needs that we're not constantly aware of. They live in our subconscious. And if we do not bring them to the conscious level and realize that which needs are not being met and which needs we're meeting in an unhealthy or healthy way, then it causes chaos in our lives. And so our subconscious brain is constantly trying to get these needs met, and it wants to get them met in the fastest way. So if you know anything about how animals work, we want to have our needs met using the least amount of energy. So we're talking personality needs right now, but if we were talking need of hunger or thirst, we are going to go and get those things the quickest way that we can, which expends the least amount of energy, because you don't want to spend, if you're a lion, we're going to the extreme animal side. This is why lions don't eat little field mice, because it would take too much energy to catch enough field mice to fill them up. So they would be burning more energy than they would be taking in. So when they expend that large amount of energy to chase down a zebra, they're getting enough in return to make that worthwhile. And humans do it with our food. If you are starving, you're more likely to pull through the drive-thru and pick something up real quick than you are to go home and take the time to cook something, because you want to take the path of least resistance. You want to expend the least amount of energy to get your needs met. And it's no different in your personality needs, okay? So if your personality need, for example, of significance is not getting met in a relationship, you may resort to tantrum behaviors to get that need met. You may engage in arguments, and you don't even realize that this is why you're doing it. It's subconscious. This need is not getting met. What's the fastest way we can get this met? Well, if I pick a fight with my partner, he'll notice me. I will have his full attention. Even though it's negative, I'm still getting that need of significance met on my subconscious level. So you see why it's important to recognize these things? You can recognize that your need for significance is not getting met. You can communicate that in a healthy way instead of creating arguments to try to get it met. So it's important to understand our personal needs, understand how we ourselves are currently getting our personal needs met, how we can get them met in a better way if they're not getting met in a healthy way, and how to make sure that all of our needs are getting met so we're not relying on other people to do it for us. So I'm going to get into each of these things, how to know if it's high on your list, how to know if a need is high on your list, what happens if we're filling this need in an unhealthy way, and how to fill it in a healthy way. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to try to go through this fast. Like I said, it's turning out that these little Tuesday tidbits are not enough to get all the information out. So I really condensed and packed together what I could have talked about for hours and hours and hours. So really stay tuned for these more in-depth videos, guys, because they're going to be really great. I just have so much information. I just can't get it all out at the same time. All right, so here we go. Certainty. How to know if certainty is high on your list. If it's important to you, if it's something that's really important on your list of personality needs. So if you are usually considered trustworthy, if you enjoy planning, if you thrive on schedule, you like to stay very organized, you hesitate to take new risks, you're not really into having new experiences, you're the type of person who likes to go to the same restaurant because it's familiar and you like it and you love the people there and you know you love the food. And you may like to watch the same TV shows. Someone who likes certainty may watch the same TV show. You may watch Friends over and over and over again because you know you like it. You know what to expect. It fulfills that need for certainty. If you are not meeting this in a healthy way, it's likely you could fall into addictive or obsessive behaviors to try to gain control of your situation. So if you're feeling like your need for uncertainty is not being met and you're living in what feels like chaos, you are going to try to take control of every piece of your life that feels out of control. And that's where you get to be that overbearing, or you hold on too tight, things like that, in a need and an effort to try to maintain certainty. Ways to get that need met in a better way is find activities you enjoy and use them to push yourself slightly out of your comfort zone. This is one way that you can get your need of certainty met. If you know that you enjoy a certain workout, for example. So let's say you know that you really like yoga. Maybe you try a new yoga studio. So it's meeting that need of certainty that you know what to expect when you go to a yoga class, but it's adding a little variety to that. A little bit of new people, a little bit of a new environment. So using activities and using certainty in your life to push yourself a little bit out of your comfort zone. So you don't want to be so stiff and rigid in your certainty that you're not growing and you're not experiencing new things and you're not learning and flexing your brain and things like that. You don't want to get stuck in such a pattern that you're not living your life, right? So create that certainty in your life, but then also use it to push yourself a little bit forward. So also incorporating healthy, empowering routines into your life is another way. So schedules, if you're really into schedules, schedule in free time. So it's time. So schedule in an hour, and it's scheduled free time. You don't have anything planned there. You could do whatever you want. So it creates a little bit of excitement and novelty in your life in a planned space. That's always a really good way to incorporate certainty also. Really use it to your advantage. If you're really into routines, it's like having healthy habits and healthy routines is a great way to level up your life in a really easy way. Add a morning meditation to your morning routine, add a walk. These things that are planned in, you're going to be able to really create healthy habits very quickly if you have a high need for certainty. So let's go to the flip side and let's talk about if you have a high need for uncertainty. Uncertainty, you are generally outgoing person. You like to meet new people. You're always willing to try something new. You like to go on those like sampling tours of sampling different breweries. You like to try new food, new restaurants. You like to go on adventures, and you have many interests. This is someone who tends to have a high need for uncertainty, what they tend to look like. When taken to the extreme, though, we all know if we take the uncertainty to the extreme, you can become unfocused. Your lack of planning skills can cause for chaos and disruption in your life. People who take uncertainty to the max are adrenaline junkies, constantly changing jobs and relationships, trying to keep things fresh. They want new. They don't want to stay still. They want what's next, moving on to the next thing very quickly and not really settling into any situation. Some ways that you can get uncertainty met in healthy ways is feed your mind regularly with new information. Use that need for variety to add variety to your mental capacity. Switch up exercise routines. Eat new foods, try new drinks, take classes with new people, try a new gym. There's lots of ways to get your need for uncertainty met that you don't have to take to extremes. Learn to ignite passion in your relationships. If you're the type of person who constantly needs your relationship to be fresh and new, and you tend to find yourself jumping from relationship to relationship because you enjoy that honeymoon period, it might be helpful for you to find ways to add uncertainty to your relationship. Maybe trying new things together, or doing a little role playing, things like that. Learn how you can get that need met with your partner. And so a lot of times when your need for uncertainty is not getting met, or getting met in an unhealthy way, you feel reckless and out of control, right? So this could be like binge drinking, partying to the extreme, trying new drugs, things like that. That is your subconscious mind trying to get its need for uncertainty met in the quickest and fastest way. And so if we can recognize that, and recognize that those patterns we have created is in reaction to the subconscious need, we can change it, and we can start to get our uncertainty in other ways, right? Such as trying new healthy things, trying new foods, taking a cooking class, trying new exercise, all of those type of things. Is this starting to make sense? I hope so. Hope this makes sense. So next is significance. So the desire to be seen, heard, and listened to. If this is a high need for you, you are highly driven to be successful. You love setting and reaching goals. You're committed to a cause or maybe causes. Your friends tell you tend to stand out. You really just enjoy being at the top of your game, having people recognize that about you, being recognized for your hard work, and being a winner. Basically, these people who have a high need for significance are often very competitive people. So when you take it to the extreme, they become overly competitive. They can become perfectionists. They can become dramatic, because they're using their drama and emotions to try to get the attention and feel significance. They may turn to alcohol or frequent fighting, doing things purely for the recognition. So you may be saying to yourself on a conscious level, I'm doing this out of the kindness of my heart, but really what you're looking for is significance in return. So if you're doing something for somebody, it should be just out of kindness, but they don't really give you the credit for it. And maybe you're trying to get that need for significance fulfilled. Okay. And this is the one also with the frequent fighting. If you're in a relationship and you're feeling like you are not getting your need for significance fulfilled in the relationship, you may turn to arguments and picking battles, because then your partner is focused on you, and maybe in a negative way, but it's still attention, right? We see kids do this sometimes, attention-seeking behaviors. So ways you can fulfill your need for significance: channel your competitive nature into healthy activities, like learning a new sport or skill. Join a sports team. Use that competitiveness in a good way, or start to see yourself as your own competition. Start to keep track of the things that you're doing and try to get a little bit better every day, and use yourself as your own competition. Commit to mastery of your profession or your career. Learn new skills. So putting yourself into new situations that may be new for you, that when you have this need for significance, you always want to be at the top. And sometimes you forget that you need to start somewhere. You need to be a beginner to be the best. Like everybody has to start somewhere. So start something new. Give yourself a chance to become better at something, to gain significance in a new area. Love and connection. Let's talk love and connection. So if you have a high need for love and connection, you're considered usually to be loyal and generous to those that you love. Give freely to others. Others find you trustworthy and feel that they can lean on you. You have strong social ties, and people often confide in you. And that's that need to feel a connection to other people. When it's taken to the extreme, people often sacrifice self-care for the needs of others. People please, become a chameleon, and find it hard to say no. I can speak a lot about this because I had this huge need for love and connection that I didn't even know. I knew that I wanted to be in a romantic relationship and that romantic relationships were important to me, but I didn't understand because it was this underlying need of love and connection. I, a lot of times, would sacrifice self-care for others. I would do everything I needed to do for the other person first and always put myself last. I was constantly people pleasing. This is something that's going to be hard to hear. It was hard for me to hear, but people pleasing is a form of manipulation. If you are a people pleaser, you are presenting yourself in such a way to make the other person happy, which is a form of manipulation. And it's not good for anybody. It's not good for you. It's not good for the other person. People pleasing. I was a huge people pleaser. I am a recovering people pleaser. And let me tell you, it is a road that you need to go down. If you are a people pleaser, it's best for everybody if we work on that. Get a hold of me. We'll take care of it. I'll help you with that. And finding it hard to say no. When you are wanting love and connection, you don't want to make the other person upset. You want to do everything that you can to continue that love and connection and keep getting that need filled. Another issue that people have with love and connection need is that all of these needs need to be filled at least halfway by you first. So if your need for significant bucket isn't half filled by you first, or your need for love and connection isn't half filled by you first, you are going to be constantly looking for that from other people, and you're going to be feeding off of that and be very needy, trying to get those needs met. That was me. I was not loving and connecting with myself first and expecting it all to come from someone else. And so then you're always in a panic. You're always in a panic that they're going to take that love away and your bucket is going to be completely empty. When if you can fill it halfway yourself, you can maintain healthy boundaries and maintain a healthy relationship because you're not afraid that if it doesn't work out, you can be adults and go your two separate ways. Okay, you're not clinging to this need of this other person to get your needs met. So how can we get this need met? Love and connection in a healthy way. Be vulnerable. Be open. Be able to be who you are and be open about who you are and present yourself and know that if you present yourself as who you are and someone reacts negatively to that, that's on them. That's their BS. But if you are pretending to be somebody else, and someone else gets mad when they find out that's not really you, that's on you. That's on you, okay? So be vulnerable and accepting of the person that you are. Be open about who you are, what your boundaries are, what you can bring to the table, and what you expect other people to bring to the table. Love yourself. Get to know yourself. Get to know your needs. Meet them yourself first. After you listen to this video, at the end of this video, I'm going to give you a little bit of homework. Part of that homework is to understand what needs are at the top of your list right now and getting them met. That's a form of self-love. Then once you know what your needs are, you need to communicate your needs. You need to create healthy boundaries to create space for you to meet your own needs. Get spiritual through prayer, meditation, and connecting with nature. Whatever your higher power is, God, universe, goddess, creators, whatever it is that your higher power is, get really connected and feel their love for you. Let go of obligations that don't serve you. If you're doing something simply out of people-pleasing nature and not because it's good, it's for the good of everybody involved, you need to let it go. Okay? Last one. Nope, two more. Oh my gosh, I need to hurry. Growth. If growth is important to you, you're always pushing boundaries, your own boundaries and society's boundaries. You tend to be an independent person. You're not attached to material things. You love to learn, and you're constantly reaching for bigger and higher things. When you take it to this extreme, though, you find it hard to connect to other people. You're constantly pushing yourself forward, and you don't want anything to get into your way. So you have a hard time sometimes forming relationships because you're always pushing forward and may feel like either people are holding you back or you're holding them back. Move too quickly from a relationship. You move on too quickly. You can turn to perfectionism and neglect rest and relaxation. And you're always pushing forward. You're like always constantly on the move and can't let the grass grow under your wheels. And it's hard for people to keep up with you sometimes. So some tips for if you have a high growth need: stay on one thing long enough to master it. It's hard when you want to keep growing to not bounce from topic to topic. Push yourself to stay on a topic long enough for yourself to master it. Don't forget that you need to emotionally and spiritually grow also. It's not just about skills and knowledge. It's also about examining your limiting beliefs, learning to control your emotions, meditating. That sort of growth is also really important and a really great way for you to meet your growth needs. Last one is contribution. When contribution is a high need for you, you're extremely empathetic. You're very compassionate. You enjoy giving back. You like sharing, and you want to leave a legacy. If that's really important to you, then contribution is high on your list. Some things that can go wrong, though, you may tend to burn out easily. If you're constantly giving to other people and not giving to yourself, you're going to burn out very quickly. You could forget to contribute to yourself and your home, and you can be prone to being taken advantage of. So part of being able to contribute to society is you first need to contribute to yourself and contribute to your home and take care of yourself in your home. To fulfill this need, don't just join a cause, create one. The closer the cause is to your heart, the more involved and more fulfilling it will be. Set good boundaries. So know that you want to contribute, but have a plan of how you're going to do it so people aren't taking advantage of you. And contribute to yourself and your home first. Okay, so there is your list of personality needs, things that can go wrong, and short little ways you can meet them. So like I said, what you need on a different day can be different. It can change from month to month. It could change from year to year. But my homework for you and what I want you to do is check in here with yourself right now. Okay, and number the list, number your needs, create a list 1 through 6, and put them in order of what you feel like you need met right now or what you're trying to meet subconsciously to what you're least trying to meet right now. So certainty, uncertainty, significance, connection, growth, contribution. What's important to you right now? Where can you see that your subconscious mind is pushing you? And what actions are you doing lately that you're not super fond of? Try to trace them back to the need that your subconscious is trying to meet, and find a new way to meet that need. Example, if you find yourself eating a lot more than you used to, maybe lately you've been really binging out on sweet foods, and you're really just like feeling like you're taking it to the extreme. A lot of times binge eating and things like that is a way to try to either meet your need of certainty, like knowing that you can have food when you want it, when you're hungry, and taking that to an extreme. It could be also connection. It could be significance. Sometimes if you're the fattest person in the room, you're still getting the most attention. And I know that's terrible to say, but subconsciously I know people, I've had clients that binge eating was a thing for them because the bigger they were, the more attention they would get. It was often negative attention, but it was attention nonetheless. And it was easier for them to eat and eat and eat and maintain that large size than try to go in the opposite direction. So what are your behaviors trying to tell you about the needs that you are trying to get met, and how can you meet them in a better way? So label them in order, figure out what you're trying to get met, and start meeting it yourself, and communicate this with your partners and your friends and your family, the needs that you need met from them and how you can meet their needs too. So I think I've run out of time for today. Thank you for joining me. Please subscribe and like this video, and stay tuned for some really great workshops that we have coming up, and be well.